For this presentation, I will be going over the United Kingdom, officially the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but more commonly known as the UK or Britain. Hi, my name is Nicholas Salinas and I will be your presenter. The UK is a sovereign state lying off the northwestern coast of the European mainland, made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The current population of the UK is 66,835,741 based on the latest United Nations estimates. The UK's population is equivalent to 0.87 of the world population, with the official language being English. The capital of the UK is London, and it is arguably known as the world's capital. The government of the United Kingdom, formerly referred to Her Majesty's Government, has one of the oldest governments in the world. The UK has a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary government based on the Westminster system that has been emulated around the world, a legacy of the British Empire. The head of state is the monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. She is also head of state of 16 independent countries, including Canada and Australia. The head of government is currently the Prime Minister, Theresa May. The UK has played a huge role in the colonization of the world. A study has found at various times the British have invaded almost 90% of the countries around the globe at some point or another. Although some say that assertion is overstated, and its height in 1922, the British Empire governed a fifth of the world's population and a quarter of the world's total land area. The history of British newspapers dates to the 17th century with the emergence of regular publications covering news and gossip. The relaxation of government censorship in the late 17th century led to a rise in publications, which in turn led to an increase in regulation throughout the 18th century. The industry was said to be in the developing phase as people wanted more political and social awareness. Mass education and increased affluence led to media to emerge at the end of the 19th century aimed at lower middle-class readers. There is a high literacy rate of over 99% among residents aged 15 and older. Over 90% of households have access to the internet, and over 95% of respondents aged between 16 and 24 reported owning a smartphone. Over 97% of the households in the UK have TV sets. There are just over 115 daily newspapers, around 600 licensed radio stations, and over 400 million printed copies of magazines a year. The domain extension for British-based websites is .uk instead of .com for United States commercial sites. The top 3 searched websites in the UK are not surprisingly Google, YouTube, and Facebook. UK's version of Google, Amazon, and BBC come in at number 4, 5, and 6, followed by Wikipedia, then trailed by UK's version of eBay. Coming in at number 9 and 10 are Reddit and Twitter. The UK has a wide range of media providers. The most notable is a publicly owned British Broadcasting Corporation, otherwise known as the BBC. Then comes ITV plc, which operates 13 of the 15 regional television broadcasters, and American global media conglomerate Comcast, which owns the broadcaster Sky Ltd. Trinity Mirror, which was just recently rebranded to Reach plc, operates 240 local and regional newspapers as well as national newspapers such as the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Mirror. The UK is ranked 40th out of 180 countries in the 2018 World Press Freedom Index. The United Kingdom, respectively, keeps its status as one of the worst ranked Western European countries in the World Press Freedom Index. The government recently began to enact the Investigatory Power Act, similar to the US Patriot Act, the most extreme surveillance legislation in UK history. The revelations about global surveillance has been a discussion as of late. The Prime Minister warned The Guardian that it should stop publishing revelations or face legal action. Security officials even visited The Guardian and demanded that hard drives containing leaked material be destroyed in front of them. Meanwhile, the government has proposed a new system which would make it easier for authorities to force journalists to hand over materials and information about sources. The UK's media and entertainment industries have been booming recently, although because of Brexit, US-based broadcasters and producers will lose the benefit of a number of favorable EU laws, resulting in reduced demand for UK content abroad. Somewhat surprisingly, given the role the media is allegedly to have played in the outcome of the EU referendum. If there is a downturn in the industry, the loss will not only be an economic one, the UK will also lose some cultural influence it has on the world. Nobody really knows what the outcome of Brexit will be, as it is hard to predict or give proper guidance. The United Kingdom will leave the European Union March 29th, 2019. One potential benefit for the publishing industry is that everyone once again is highly energized around politics, and there is a greater value on quality commentary. Also, depending on who you ask, the UK can begin to nationalize or support key industries. With the rebalancing power across the globe, the role of Britain becomes important. Britain's diplomatic messages matter for three main reasons: its imperial legacy in most regions of the world, the respect with which some elements of its history, culture, and political governance are held in much of the world, and its continuing relevance as a major trading power. Just like in the United States, the UK media has a problem with corporate-owned media consolidation and merging with one another. A major difference is American media has a reputation for being left-wing, while UK media outlets covering the political spectrum cannot be categorized as either left or right, but rather center when looking at the big picture. I predict the future of the media in the UK to be like the rest of the world, depending on how Brexit unfolds. It's important for media industry participants to work toward developing standards for applying blockchain and identifying areas where the technology could benefit key players in the industry. Although it is still early in the industry, it can really help content creators to content aggregators to distributors.